Hello students, today we are going to start a new chapter, that is force and pressure. In today's video, we'll be studying about force and its various types. So let's learn about it one by one. So what is force? Yes, the push or pull of an object is called force. So what is this man doing here? Yes, he is pushing the car. So if you push or pull an object to make it move, if an object has to move, if an object is at rest and it has to move, it has to be pushed or pulled. So what is force? The push or pull that you apply on an object to make it move is known as force. So what is going on here? Yes, there is a tug of war. And what is happening? What happens in this? Yes, the group that applies more force pulls the other group towards itself, right? So what are they applying here? Force. Yes, they are pulling the rope. So the push that you apply, that this man is applying to the car, or the pull that this children is applying to this rope is known as force. And why do you apply it? So that the object moves. So here, as you can see, in the tug of war, these children are pulling towards themselves. What happens when both of them apply force towards one end only? What would happen if they apply force only towards one end? What would apply when they apply force towards opposite end? We'll study about something known as resultant force. How is force given in a body calculated? So what can you see over here? Yes, both of these ladies are pushing this wardrobe towards this end, right? Both of them are applying their force, and what? In the same direction. So if two forces act on the body in the same direction, what would happen? Yes, the wardrobe will move towards this end, right? So what can you say? When two body or two forces acts on a body in same direction, the net force or the total force will be the sum of this two force. So due to this two force, the total of this two force, what would happen? The wardrobe will move to the other end, right? So what happens when two forces act on a body in the same direction? Yes, the sum or the net force is calculated, which makes the object to move. Same is applied over here. What can you see? Yes, both of them are picking the sofa from two different ends, but they tend to move towards one direction only, that is towards the right only, right? So what would be the net force that is applied? So if this lady is applying 25 Newton force and this man is applying 20 Newton force, in total 45 Newton force because is applied on this body, because both are moving in one direction. If both were moving in opposite direction, what would have happened? Let's see. So what is happening over here? Yes, these dogs are stretching things towards or pulling things towards itself, right? What would happen here? They are going in two different direction, right? When they are going in opposite direction, how will you calculate the force? Yes, you will take the difference between the force that is applied. For example, here this dog is big and it is applying how much Newton force? Yes, 12 Newton force, and this dog is applying 10 Newton force. So what would happen? Yes, the one which is big or which applies more Newton force, the object will move towards that end. So how do you know which end it will move? And who has applied more force? Yes, you will find the difference. So when you find the difference of both of these forces, you get 2 Newton. What is this 2 Newton? This is the extra force that is applied by this dog so that the object move towards the right or towards itself. So when two forces acts in opposite direction, the net force is the difference between the two forces. What would have happened if the force applied by this dog was also 10 Newton? Will the object move? No, because both of them are applying same force in opposite direction. So when you apply same force in opposite direction, what is that type of force known as? Yes, it's known as balance force. You might have played this game, the arm wrestling game. In this, who wins? Yes, the person who applies more force wins. Or the hand, he could beat the other person if he applies more force. But what happens if he apply equal force? The hand will not move, right? So such type of force in which the force are equal, they tend to be known as balance force. Now let's study what effects force has on an object, how force affect various features of an object. Let's see. So when you apply force, what all change can you see in an object? Yes, sometimes it changes direction, sometimes it changes shape, sometimes it changes its speed, right? So as you can see, force has a major effects on our body. Even when we are walking, we require force. There are various force acting on our body. We are doing exercises, various force acts on our body. When we have to kick a ball, we are doing? We are changing the direction of the ball. For that also a force is needed. So what all changes a force can do? Let's study each of them. So, what can force do? Force can make an object move from rest. For example, if this ball was lying in the ground without being touched, will it move? No, you have to kick it or you have to take it or throw it, right? So at the initial time the ball was at rest. Now if the ball is kicking, or now if you take the ball and throw it, now it is moving. So what did you do? You applied the force. Here the boy kicked the ball. So at first it was at rest. Now as soon as he kicked the ball, what happened? The ball start moving. So what can force do? Force can make the object to move from rest. And it can also help in stopping a object. For example, this goalkeeper. What did he do? Yes, he's stopping the ball. For stopping the ball also you require certain force. If that force is not given, what would happen? The ball will get inside the net, right? So the force can be used to move an object as well as it can be used to stop an object. The next is force can change the speed of an object. For example, if you are moving with greater speed, this man is moving with a greater speed. He applies brake. The brake that you apply is the force that you are applying to the cycle. And what happens to the speed? Yes, when you apply a brake, the speed decreases. So what happened over here? You applied a force and there was a change in speed. Also, it can use in changing the direction of a motion object. For example, when this batsman is hitting the ball, what happens when the ball comes? It comes in a straight path, and as soon as the batsman hit it, it goes, it changed its direction. So what did this Batman do? Yes, he applied force so that the ball changed its direction. So force can also make you change the direction. The last one is force can change the shape of an object. You might have seen your mother doing this, taking a dough and making it into roti, right? What is she applying to roll the roti? Yes, on the pin she applies force, right? So when she applies force, what happens? This big, the small dough converts into a big roti, right? Same is here. Here the dough, can you see? It doesn't have a regular shape, but you applied a force and what did you get? You get a tree shaped dough, right? Same when you crush a bottle. You apply the force and you crush it. The shape is changed. The potter making pot, he also applies force so that there is a change in shape of an object. So force can increase the speed, decrease the speed, change the direction, and also change the shape of an object. So till now we studied about force and what all changes it can give to a body. Now we'll study about the types of force. There are mainly two types of force: contact force and non-contact force. So from the word itself you can say what is contact force. When two bodies are in contact or are in touch with each other, the force that is applied during that time, that's known as contact force. And non-contact force means when the body is not in contact or not touching each other, the force applied during that time is known as non-contact force. Let's study some of the contact force, examples of contact force, and some of the examples of non-contact force. So, as I've told you before, contact force are the forces exerted by one object on another when they are in contact. So, which are the two types of contact force around us? One is muscular force and one is force of friction. Muscular force is the force that you apply to change the position of any object, right? Your muscles, your body you use to change the position or to do work. When you do work, which type of force is used? Yes, the muscular force. Your muscles has been used to do the work. So that type of force where your muscles or your body is used to move the object, that's known as muscular force. And force of friction. As we all know, there is a frictional force, an opposing force that stops the movement of the object. So this force helps you to move and do various activities or helps you to stop, right? And this happens only when two bodies are in contact. If there is no contact between the body, the frictional force is not experienced to that level. So when the frictional force or the force that resists the walk or the movement of an object comes under the contact force. Now the next is the non-contact force. So the non-contact force, as I told you, it's exerted on an object without any contact. The three types are magnetic force, electrostatic force, and gravitational force. Magnetic force means force applied by the magnet. So here the magnet is not in contact with the coins, but then also it exerts a force on this coin. Electrostatic force, the force that you experience during winters, the electrostatic force, or when you rub a balloon and keep it over a piece of paper, what will happen? It will get attracted. So that's an electrostatic force. And the gravitational force is the force that keeps us hold it towards the earth. So these are the types of non-contact force. I hope you all understood. Thank you and have a nice day.